my channel. I am the Ink Northerner, and today I thought I would do something that wasn't just spamming you with Evercade content. So I noticed a few people have done video response to Nerdy Geezer and the top 10 TV characters, so I thought I would do my own response to that, something a bit different from the Evercade. As we all know, pickups and stuff like that are a bit slow at the minute, shall we say. What I'll try and do is, for each character I'll give you sort of why I find them, why I like them, and I'll try and stick up somewhere around me just an image of that character as well. So I've got some notes on the, well, not notes, I've got the list noted on my screen here, so you may see me looking away, but that's just because I'm looking at the correct order. I've got them numbered 1 to 10. However, there's only really the top 2 that that are, I would say, are my top 2, and even then I would say they're a joint one. It'll become clear when I get to it. So first up, there's an American TV show called The League, and it's a group of friends who start a fantasy American football league, and they do this a few seasons. There's a character called Taco, who's played by John Leogi, I think is how you say it, and he's just stupid, is the best way to put it. The character is fantastic in terms of he comes up with these weird schemes to make money all the time. He essentially, there is all sorts of things that he does. Not only that, John Leogi is a musician, so there's quite a lot of songs that are on there that are quite interesting. The soundtrack is available on Spotify for it, which features some of the songs. They are pretty funny to listen to, and all in all, the whole group as a collective are fantastic. It also stars Nick. Can't remember his name. He's the main character, the main person in Big Mouth, and it also stars Aaron, whose surname again escapes me. Who? Let me look it up whilst I have it here. He's become quite a film star now. There we go. So The League's a 2009 TV show, so it's about 11 years old, but it still stands up, I find. I think there are 7 series, something like that. So it's Nick Kroll, and it's the reason I was calling him Aaron is due to the fact that I was thinking of Aaron Eckhart. It's Mike Duplass. So they're the two real big stars to come out of it. There are 84 episodes, and it is a really, really funny show. Just the whole interaction between them all is just fantastic. So next up is a character from Phoenix Nights. Now, being where I'm from, I live, my hometown is less than 8 miles from Bolton. I don't live in my hometown anymore. I'm about 13 miles from Bolton. Bolton's where Phoenix Nights was set, so it has always resonated with me as a northerner. I've seen the live show. I went to Blackpool to watch the live show. Unfortunately, it didn't feature Peter Kay. It was Dave Spikey was the main person on it, and you had Holy Mary and a few others. But the character that I want to choose from here is actually Max, as part of the Max and Paddy duo. Now, I know a lot of people would have gone for the lead character, again, name escaping me, Brian Potter, but for me, Max and Paddy make it. They're just hilariously funny. The episode of where there's the dwarf people coming to the club, and they're shouting, "We're Bolton, we're Barmy, we're on the lash tonight." Just the interaction that you get through with Max and Paddy on that, or even the chip shop episode with the bus, that is just hilarious. I love Phoenix Nights. It's a shame it didn't carry on for much longer. So as I said, these aren't in any particular order. The only two that I will have, as we'll say, are the joint one is the last two. Next up is Moss from the IT crowd. So I just love how innocent the guy is. It's a great show. Again, I think it's the just the chemistry between everybody on the show. I think, is it Chris O'Dowd. So Chris O'Dowd and his interaction with Richard Ayoade in that is just amazing. But Moss does it for me because he's straight in there with the one-liners. He hits the zingers, and he's just so innocent with it. Also, you'll find that the majority of these, if not all of them, I think all of them are comedy shows. Comedy is really the sort of shows that stick with me, that I can watch constantly. I know a few people have stuck things on like Walking Dead or Star Trek and things like that. Now, as much as I can watch them, they don't resonate with me. I can't watch them over and over again. I mean, The Walking Dead, even things with like Breaking Bad, it took me 3 attempts to get past the first series of Breaking Bad. I just wasn't gripped by them. The Walking Dead, I was fine up until sort of they left the prison. Having coffee instead of a beer. But yeah, so comedy is where it's at for me in terms of TV characters that that stick in my mind and I really like. So next up is an amazing character. Not only was it a successful TV show, it spawned a successful cartoon series. It was also 2 films, I believe. And number 7 is Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is just hilarious for a character who doesn't really speak. To pull off the comedy that he does in that is just amazing. The way he interacts with the teddy is fantastic. My favourite episode is the one where he gets the new chair and it's on top of his Mini. It's just a brilliant. And the long running battle he has with the Robin Reliant driver, I think it is, with his Mini is just amazing. So yeah, Mr. Bean on there is just phenomenal. Next up is another show that's pretty close to sort of me. So it's a show that originally they were looking around for a town to film this in. My hometown was on one of the lists. There's also a town close to me called Haslingden that was on the list. It eventually went to Hadfield in Yorkshire. That show being the League of Gentlemen. Created by some phenomenal comedy writers. I think there's a couple of them who are very local to me. One of the guys is from Chorley. You've got one of the guys who's from somewhere in Yorkshire. So they're northerners again. The character that I've gone for in the League of Gentlemen, as much as I love Tubbs and Edward, I've gone for Papa Lazarou. I really like the dark comedy humour that's in this. The whole elements of Papa Lazarou and You're My Wife Now. I don't think some of this would carry over into modern comedy. I think some people may find it offensive that there's a white person who's essentially blacked up. Well, he is blacked up too. Although he's supposed to just be a carny, and it's the first 2 series were fantastic. The 3rd series was just amazing. The whole premise of the red balloon tying everything together was just fantastic, and Papa Lazarou being the main element of that was great for me. Next up, another American TV show. A lot of people will like this show. A lot of people will not select the character that I've selected, but I'll explain why. So I've gone for Howard Wolowitz from The Big Bang Theory. I just love everything about the Howard character, how he goes from sort of a creepy, sort of guy in the first few series to where he gets with Bernadette, eventually realizes that he loves her and they get married. The whole, and they have kids. The whole from start to finish Howard character is fantastic. Not only that, his and Raji's sort of connection I just find fantastic, and they do one of the best songs from a TV show for me, and it's Thor and Dr. Jones. I'm trying to find a cleaner version of it so that I can use it as a ringtone, but it's not that easy to find. It's just amazing. I love the whole, all of the characters in Big Bang Theory are fantastic, but for me, Howard is the best. Next up, another show that I think should have lasted for longer, but I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad that John Cleese pulled the plug when he did, and that is, I've gone for Basil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers. The physical comedy that John Cleese did in this, I'm a massive Monty Python fan, and just the whole physical comedy, the interaction with Andrew Sachs, his Manuel, even the interactions with his wife, his real life wife, and his on-screen wife in Prunella Scales are just fantastic. The whole, I mean, if you've not seen Fawlty Towers, you should go and watch it. For a show that's as old as it is, it's still fantastic and still hilariously funny. So the last character before I get on to the top two, or joint one as I'm calling it, is Holly from Red Dwarf. Now, I wasn't a massive fan of the female version of Holly because I didn't think she was as funny as the first few series. Still funny, but not as funny. I think what happened with that was the original Holly, he wanted a pay rise, and I don't think they would give it him, so he left. Eventually came back. Unfortunately, I've not seen some of the Dave episodes, so I'm not sure whether he stayed in it or not. But the whole idea of you think that this computer is stupid, and it turns out he's not. He actually is as intelligent as he claims, and he eventually gets everybody out of the scenarios that they're in. I just find it great. The interactions with Lister are amazing. I know a lot of people would have gone for somebody like Lister or Rimmer, but for me, Holly sort of tied that show together. Now, the last two are two characters who I've pretty much grown up with. I think the first series of this was was 2002. So I can't say I've grown up with them because 2002 I just started uni. I've seen these characters done from where they come from originally. I'm trying to think what the name of I think it was Chewing Fat. But having seen these characters for 9 series, knowing that the two guys who play them are really good friends, me coming from a Scottish family, understanding this comedy, the joint two have to be Victor McDade and Jack Jarvis. I absolutely love Still Game. Every character in Still Game is fantastic. Even the extra characters that they bring in. The Ned's hilarious. Isa's amazing. Winston's great. Even Tam. The whole interaction that you get with Jack and Victor and Bobby the barman is just amazing. These are the sorts of guys I can imagine. Some of my family going into a bar, having this banter with the barman, and then saying 2 pints, you prick. It's just a fantastic show. I've watched it several times. It's not on Netflix. All series are on Netflix. Even series 9, which was the last series. And even the last series, the ending of it sort of brought a tear to my eye because these are two characters that have, I'd have been sort of 2002. I'd have been 20, I think. No, 19. So yeah, I've pretty much had these characters, for the best part of 20 years, and to see them go out the way they did, I thought was great. I didn't think it would ever come back. They had a hiatus between 2007 and 2016. I think for Keenan and Greg Hempel that actually fell out, and they didn't make any more, which was rather unfortunate. They'll not bring Jack and Victor back now, maybe for some specials, but they'll have to backdate it. The whole, honestly, if you've not seen Still Game, you need to go and watch it. It's on Netflix. You can buy it on DVD. It's just an amazing comedy. Chewing the Fat was great, but Still Game coming out of that is fantastic. And again, you know, as an Englishman with Scottish parentage, you know, it lets me cling on to that side of me. I've always been close to the Scottish side of me. So I mean, to the point where, you know, prior to starting school, I had a Scottish accent till I was like 4 years old, because all I was ever around was my Scottish family. I can put a Scottish accent on. I don't, because I hate it. It sounds daft. It sounds exactly like it would do. It's an Englishman putting a Scottish accent on. The twang comes back whenever I'm talking to a group, but I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I've gone off on a tangent now talking about my family. Still Game, amazing show. You should all watch it if you've not watched it. All that's left for me to do is thank you for watching me. I have been the Ignoring It, and I'll catch you on the